Shalom and happy Passover, beloved brothers and sisters of a mighty wind. Today we read during the Torah portion that Moses summoned all the elders of Israel and said to them, "Go at once and select the animals for your families and slaughter the Passover lamb." Exodus 12:21. All of the biblical Passover, called Pesach in Hebrew, began last night, a very special day on the Hebrew calendar of Nisan 14. The evening of Passover ushered the Ta'anit Bechorot, which is the fast of the firstborn, that begins this morning. Jewish firstborn observe this fast in remembrance of the salvations of the firstborn in Egypt through the blood of the Passover lamb that was slain on the same day of Nisan 14. So the Passover plague of the firstborn celebrations of mercy after the blood of the Passover lamb was placed on the Jewish and even Egyptian doorpost, and the angels of death pass over the homes that were marked with it, but in homes all through Egypt, not marked with the blood, whether Jewish or Egyptian, the firstborn perished. This Passover event concludes the last of the 10 plagues upon Egypt and the plague of the firstborn. To commemorate God's merciful act of providing a new way of salvation out of slavery, the Jewish firstborns, the fast begin from last night after the Seder meal and usually ends after the Torah portions in the morning. This Jewish custom is almost universally observed all over the world. The Passover Seder, the symbolize of the new covenant, it is the Passover sacrifice to the Lord, who passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt and spared our home when he struck down the Egyptian. Exodus 12:21. So the Passover began last night at April 22nd, 2016 at the Gregorian calendar at sundown. All over around the world, the Jewish people and many Gentiles will celebrate it in a traditional meal called Seder. At this festival meal, the story of our exodus from Egypt is retold, reminding every generations of how God delivered us from Egypt with a mighty hands and with outstretched arm. It is through Yeshua that gathered his Talmidim, his disciples, on the evening of Nisan 14 at the upper room, in order to have the traditional meal with them, his last Seder. Remember, this night he would reveal something remarkable. So Yeshua broke a piece of matzah, perhaps the afikuman, the broken half of a matzah, which speaks of the Messianic era. That is wrapped and hidden away to be found, and asked his Talmidim to remember him when partaking of it, according to the tradition each year. This is my body, which is given to you. Do this in remembrance of me. Luke 22:19, 1 Corinthians 11:24. Yeshua then initiated the new covenant that Jeremiah prophesied in Jeremiah 31:31 by raising one of the traditional cups of wine, the cup of redemption, saying, "This cup, which is poured out of for you, is the new covenant in my blood." Luke 22:20, 1 Corinthians 11:25. This cup that Yeshua shared during the Seder corresponds to the third cup of wine that is drunk at a traditional Seder meal. The 4 cups of wine at the Seder are not biblical command. They were instituted by the rabbinical law. Interestingly enough, Yeshua kept the tradition. This third cup is called the redemption cup because it signified the redemption from slavery in Egypt into freedom in Israel. So likewise, it symbolized the redemption of our souls from bondage to sin and spiritual death. Messiah is the mediator of the new covenant, that those who are called may receive the promised eternal inheritance now that he has died as ransom to set them free from sin committed under the first covenant. Hebrew 9:15. So Passover offering freedom from the kingdom of darkness. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, to him who struck down the firstborn of Egypt and brought Israel out from among them with a mighty hands and outstretched arm. His love endure forever. Psalm 136:1. So Passover is not only a great celebration of freedom and deliverance for the Jewish people, it is also a foundation of the Christian's faith. In Temple's time, the Passover lamb were slaughtered during the days of Nisan 14. When Passover began, at the same time they were being slaughtered, Yeshua was slain as the Passover lamb of God, so that we would be set free from the bondage of sin and redeemed from the power of the kingdom of darkness. For that reason, it is not only the Israelites who rejoice at being rescued from slavery, or the firstborn who celebrate the escape from death. Those of us who have received forgiveness through the atoning works of the Jewish Messiah Yeshua, so let us also celebrate our freedom and redemption because of the event that fulfilled Bible prophecy on the 14th of Nisan. So Passover, the festival, and unleavened bread. For the law of the Spirit of life has set you free in Messiah Yeshua from the law of sin and death. Romans 8:2. So Passover is the time when we all remember God's deliverance of the people of Israel. Sadly, as the Jewish people during the Passover Seder consider the salvation of the Israelites, remembering the lamb blood that was placed upon the door, few will understand that Passover itself is a prophetic picture of the deliverance that Yeshua HaMashiach, our Passover lamb, accomplished for the Jewish people and the whole world. Brothers and sisters, you can make a difference on this Passover by praying for the salvation of the Jewish people and the Jewish bride to rise up. Be blessed, my brothers and sisters, the mighty wind, and all of those who keep Yah's appointed time. May you have peace and joy on this holy day. Our Yeshua HaMashiach, the perfect Lamb of God, has risen indeed. Yah bless you. Happy Passover and Shalom from Israel.